So I'm back on the 92 Taurus. Ends up being the check engine light was the EGR stuff, which I can get to in another video because it's normally, that gave a lot of issues on those cars back then. It's something I suspected because of the way the car was stalling every so often. But I just changed all the stuff that I knew was old. And so now I just ordered the EGR pressure sensor and the other EGR sensor. They used to go bad all the time. Anyhow, so I want to do the rear springs. I'm like, wow, this is not that easy. So I have the car jacked up. I wish I jacked it up here first, put a jack stand there, but okay, I got two jacks. Other guys were saying to unbolt that center bolt to let the other side goes down. That's what I was trying to do first. And then this doesn't allow it because of this. So I'm like, this is the only bolt that was able to come through. That guy would not come out. And other people have that problem too. And but I got it out this far. So it looks like it's going to work. Surprised. But anyway, so you should definitely be prepared. Then I don't know how I'm going to get this bolt out, but hopefully. Oh, look at that! It's like I need an even longer bolt really to do that. So I'd love to do this on camera, being such a shitty cinematographer. Oh, wait a minute. Since it's kind of loose-ish, see, and you got to commit to doing a wheel alignment, but I have, now that I sprayed it, but this thing was kind of pointing up. There's a little mark on there, and this rotates with something that goes inside, therefore it moves it, you know, the camber on the bottom in and out. But okay, now the screwdriver's stuck. I have the car jacked up a little bit. I have it right under the spring. I probably should have put it over more. Probably not the best thing, and now I can't get this guy out. So, if I can't get it out, what does that mean? It means that the arm is trying to come up, and the little bit of tension I have on it is probably, you know, combating it. I'm back here, so if I go down, everything kind of went down together. I highly recommend working on rocks all the time. Alright, so that ain't working. I don't want to hurt my... Uh-oh. I was just saying, I didn't want to hurt my good screwdriver. I don't know how far in it went. That's interesting. Alright. Let's see what happens if I can get the... Yeah. I don't know if I'm hitting that square. Let's see. Lift it up. I'm probably not hitting the head. You know what? See, this is already out of alignment. I hope I don't have to put a can of worms here. Kind of looks like I am. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized something. Okay, so I'm probably caught with the screwdriver a little bit there, but not so much on this side. Gather if I push down. Nah. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop filming only because I don't want to get hurt. Don't know how much tension that spring should have. I don't think it should have too much. But you see, this with this brake line so stiff like this, I'd rather the arm come down and this come up. So that's just it. I just gotta try to get this guy out, and now the bolt that comes out. But I should have used something else. Should not have used my trusty screwdriver. But I had to loosen this guy too. This is not fun. I don't recommend this for anyone. Oh well. So just as I was about to end that last video, my phone cuts out and I lost the whole video. Anyway, the trick was to jack it up, the control arm, and then I was able to, then this had not much play, so I was able to manipulate it around, and once I did that, the screwdriver came out, and, you know, not really an issue then. So then I pulled the jack down, and it's down, and you can see it's pretty much off its perch, you know. So I should be able to pry it out, and hopefully the cargo coils, which sit higher, sometimes are shorter. So it usually will go right the hell in. So that's what I'm hoping for. But you know, worst case scenario is I gotta unbolt the trailing arm here. I don't really want to do that, but you know, sometimes you have to do stuff that you wouldn't have to do on other cars. You know, good news is the brakes are kind of okay. Even though I bought everything for brakes, they never cut the drums though. These people suck. You know, I'm talking about the mechanics. So they never changed the wheel cylinders either. So I was like, do I do it now? Do I not do it now? Probably the answer is no, because I'm meant to do this for another day, for sure. Any case, I think this once now that I know how to do it, and I don't have to waste as much time. So I think it'll be fine. And I think this wheel alignment piece is going to stay right where it is, as long as I didn't move it too much, you know. And so far so good. I guess it's just this outside part that was moving. Don't know if anything's really moving here. Does not appear to be. I think that's when my phone got messed up, is when I put the light on because it's dying. But before my phone dies completely again, just wanted to show you all of that. To get a little more action in the video, I said let me film this. Alright, I got a pry bar, don't know. Okay, so right there, see, it's like I need a shorter one technically, or maybe a different angle or something like that. I'll try it with my trusty screwdriver. Basically, you got to get it up that hump, up and over that hump. So, you know what? Maybe I'm better off than going from the back with this guy. Then I'll get more throw to it. Let's see if I can show this. And is this all the way down? Oh, jack is all the way down. See, I think the main thing is if you can get it to go up, and then you can pull it technically. I just used my foot right there, one foot on, push that down while I pulled out. There really wasn't any more. Once that bolt came out, a lot of the weight came off it. So I'm not assuming I'm going to have any problems with this, but I'll show you how I physically put it in the car with the new one. Look how little and tiny this looks. It looks so much bigger in the car. Pretty hilarious. Let me get the new ones and make another video. I had them wrapped in plastic, all papered up, and I forgot I had bought these off him as well. Brand new rubbers too. I probably got the last one in the United States as far as I'm concerned. I gather the small coils, I can't remember. It doesn't seem like these guys would fit otherwise the other way. Yeah, this only fits like this. You try to put this guy with that notch there, it's not going. So this is, I believe this was that was the top one. And just for shits and giggles, just making sure they're identical. Yep, they are identical. My phone is really freezing up. I gotta try to charge it a little bit, but let me make another video when I put it in. So my phone's really acting up, so I can't do anything here, but I just pushed it right in. It was really no big deal. I barely pushed down on this to make it see, look, I'm pushing down, it's giving me plenty of space. Not an issue. This was actually not as bad as it seemed, so it's all good. So I had to play with it a little bit. You know, I had to jack it up more, actually. You know, so now, you know, that's going to line up pretty well. I haven't bothered yet, but can I see light through? Yeah, pretty much. So basically, when you put this as a flat spot, top and bottom, that's basically where you want it, top and bottom. So you're not going to play around too much, but hopefully. Oh, see now what I'm doing? I'm actually not in the right place because I'm popping out this bushing here. the alignment bushing, and we don't want it to move, but it's pretty much set up just up and down like that. So then you get your 18mm, you know, and use a ratchet. Come on, sorry, one-handed Charlie over here. So it'd be best to put like a line or a mark that you can tell over here also what's going on. So, you know, every time you hit it, see I'm hitting it out. I may even just take this out and then try to redo it. Just hard to tell. It's going to be best. Oh, that's why it's popping out. So it's lined up there, but not lined up here. So this is where I can actually lower the jack. And it didn't move an ounce. Oh, there we go. It still didn't move. That's crazy. But you get the idea. It's going to be, you know, some finagling. There we go. Basically had to be completely released to line up. So hopefully this will work. No. The thing is, I have zero idea. I think I'm getting it now. Yeah, again, it'd be very smart to actually. I have a hard time believing I'm this far in and I haven't. Let's try hitting it from here. Oh yeah, look, I got it. Okay, so basically that's it. So not so bad. Basically had to lower it all the way to get it to line up. And now this is not. So then I'll jack it up again, because then this would have been very hard to do if I had bolted this on first, because it would have been, you know, pulling on everything. So now I'll jack it up again, line that up, and unbolt it. Probably ultimately, since I'm doing the other side, is leave them both out and do them both at the same time. But it may be difficult in itself, so I'm just gonna put it back on now. I did it okay on this side. I should be able to do it on that side without much problem. So that's basically it. It's in, looks good, and that wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So. Or as it appeared to be, I should say. So it's all done. I just got to do the other side now. So I just wanted to add something to this side. I'm having a very hard time. I got actually that bushing out, the actual eccentric. Okay, so this is what it turns on, just the wheel alignment on that bushing, but this bushing, the sleeve is stuck to it. It came out a little bit, but when I finally got it to come out, that's when I was able to turn it, and I could tell it was turning. It wasn't turning freely, and I just took the pry bar and I wedged the fucking thing, and I got it out. Like I said, the other one is smaller. It may go in, but obviously that's going to be, you know, harder to do. Maybe I can use some kind of spring compressor. It's going to be hard because it's tight in there, but you know, they have that clamshell style that comes from the outside. Perhaps, but I'm going to see if I can wedge it in. I'd hate to have to, you know, make this bigger than it needs to, because even if I had to get a wheel alignment, the guy could technically move that. It'll just turn with the bushing. It's all tight. It's in there. It's not going anywhere. You know, but I've been beating on it for a while now. Sun's going down. I've been trying to jack it up. When I jack it up, the bolt even, you know, it goes in the bottom of the hole. And when I let it down, it goes to the top of the hole. It's not doing, I have no weight on it now, but I had the spring in there before. So I was trying to like do that, but go up and down to, if it wobbles here, it may just free it up over here, but it's just, it's tight and it's rusted. I don't know why they don't like load it with grease or something like that. Makes me wish I put a little bit on that bolt over there, but after 30-something years, if I got that bolt out, I figured I'd get this bolt out. But, you know, also figured that just by spraying it with some PB Blaster would be fine, because, you know, like I said, 32 years or whatever, or 30 years as cars. You know, you figured it's enough, you know, because it came out pretty easy. And not so much on this side, but I'm going to get to trying to put the spring in, because like I said, technically all you got to do is move that bolt just a little bit, and it just has to move with, you know, make the eccentric move on this side to make the wheel alignment work. So I will figure this out, hopefully. Okay, so I was saying to myself, wait a minute, there's a top piece here. I thought this was actually the wheel alignment when I was first working on it, but then I was like, this looks like it doesn't want to come out, and the bottom came right out on the other side. Now that I'm having a problem on this side, now I took out this this shaft here. It still really don't want to come down enough. I unbolted the you know, the brake line, but now I took a ball joint press and I put this around. This was just enough. All it needed to do was move that little tiny bit, and I loaded it up with the gun, and then I hit it with a hammer. Once I hit that end with a hammer, I heard crack, and now this guy here, it came out. Hopefully, there's no, it shouldn't be anything special, to be honest. Of course, it's still in there. Oh boy, I fucking moved a lot, and I guess there's just splines in there. I don't know if I put my weight off it, but that's basically what I'm up against right now, and I got to get something else. But there's not many threads there. Like, this is, you know, the only thing I can fit to go over that. Excuse me, I got hiccups. Anyway, so I'm gonna mess with this a little bit more. Don't know if I'll get it out or not or what, but hopefully that's meant to be pulled in with the big nut here. It's a 30 millimeter, inch and an eighth, whatever you want to call it. But I think if I get the top off now, then I should be able to get it just the same. So let's see what happens. So this fucker's tight. I actually tied it. I decided to put this on the bolt itself and just tighten it from bolt to bolt, and then really wail on this. And, you know, I wail on it all the time. And it started moving. So I was like, woohoo. So I have that old head bolt that I was using before. I'm going to hit the rest of it out, hopefully. Or I just hit it from here, maybe. Okay, so now it cleared this. This went down. And now even this is still in. But now it has a swing because this is a separate arm. So it'll hopefully have enough and kind of go up with that and down with this. Or just, I hope it works. I don't know. It may do the same exact thing unless I unbolt that, get it out completely. I'll probably just take it out completely and be done with it, because then it should be able to swivel forward, and then there's really nothing connecting to that anymore. So I think that will get it in. All right. So I'm going to do that, and hang on. Oh yeah, look at that. Hang on. Duh. Boom. Now it's on the floor because I don't have it on there. This is going to be fun. But that's basically, that's what was holding it. I could have done the other side with the top as well, but it's kind of good to know that I have the means to get it aligned, you know. So hopefully I'll just have to line up that eccentric in the right place, and you know, that'll be fine. This side here is going to be a little bit hard because then it's unstable going up. So I kind of wish, and I might just put that bolt back in now, and then worry about the what do you call it? Worry about getting the spring in instead of doing it now, because this thing is, when you jack it up, it's going to be wobbling undoubtedly. So you can do that first and see how it comes out. Basically, you understand what I did. So one day I'll have a tripod and be able to see it in real time and watch me curse. All right, thank you. Alrighty, all in. Got that bolt in. Got the eccentric back in. I had to play with, what happened was I had to jack it up directly on the drum because it's offset. When I let it all the way down, it was on the wrong side. It had to be all the way up, so I had to jack up this. It jacked up very easily. I just couldn't do it by hand and try to put that in. But once I lined it up, put it in, I realized I was off one tooth. And then this actually moved pretty easy for that one or two teeth that I would, you know, so in a wheel alignment situation, it's probably going to be fine. This one back together fine. I ended up jacking it up until it was, you know, it was pretty much lined up to put it in there, and I zipped it in there. And then at the same time, I zipped this guy in while it was up more, because you don't want to put pressure on that. You know, you want it to be at normal height and then tightened, you know, roughly normal height. You know, you can move a little bit, but it's an old bushing, so you keep playing with it and you never know what you're going to get. So then now it's just the shocks. The shocks, you know, it was definitely better with the tire off. It'd be very hard, but I just used a socket wrench with 10 millimeter on it to hold it, and then I use the half inch, or you use 13 millimeter on the ratchet underneath, and then inside is just a matter of popping out the you know, the plastic hooyah, we call it. See the round hole there? I pop that thing out. I'm gonna actually, like I did on the other side, I'm gonna actually reuse this guy, and it seems like the last guy who put the Monroes in did the same thing. I think he reused it. I think these were original because they're not this big, and it's silly how small it is. Not that it would go through the hole, but there's no, you know, there's no resistance. Yeah. Oh, I put it on the old shock. That's what I did. See, look how small those are. They're regular shock bushings, but nah. I was like, I'm gonna do the other one. Probably. Excuse me, I get the hiccups today. Probably nothing wrong with it. Probably been in there for over 10 years. To be honest, I put this guy in and it was like a little wet. Like it had, this is Auto Parts International. They're just cheap, whatever's on eBay. Don't ask me why I keep doing that, but there's so many cars that I have. And I think it's just oil that they put in the packaging, but it got me a little scared there because I never see oil on a shock. And, hang on. You know, sometimes they tell you to, you know, I never understood it, and it's like I only do it for my cars sometimes. It's like I'll take the shock and I'll flip it upside down. They tell you to flip it upside down and purge the air out of it. I'm like, what does that mean? You know, there shouldn't be any air. Now this guy's not even coming out on its own, so who knows if that would really help, or it's just fucking Chinese. That's funny. I believe the other one came out on its own. Huh. Maybe that's what you had to do. You had to go upside down. Okay, I just pushed it out now. Pushed it down. I guess it's coming. It's coming really slow. I guess it was down the whole, you know, it was in this this thing here, so I'm going to let it come up on its own one time, and I think it'll be okay from there. Maybe I'll help it. I would love a hydraulic shock, but hopefully this is not BS, these shocks. I took off the bushing, and I put it somewhere here. Like I said, reusing this. Yeah, the other one, there was like oil. And I just wonder if they lube the thing up. You know, they lube the shaft up. That's so hilarious. Push it in again. January 2008. I'm like the only one who buys all their cheap shit. I probably paid $7 for the shock. It's easy enough to change again if I had to, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. However, since it's going so slow, I can line this up. What do I do with the baggie? Right here. I just need the nut for the top. I'm going to reuse the original, but they give you bolts for crap. Plus, they have this reduced head, which is good. So basically, because this type of shock is a, it has the open horseshoe on each side to make it a little easier on yourself. Obviously, you can't do it with both. But what I'll do is I will, ow, hit my head. Sorry. As good as it gets. I'm the most cinematographer. Alright, so put the light on now. So basically I start the bolt inside the hole with the nut on the bottom. Can you see that? Where am I? Yeah. Right here. This guy. So don't mind the old piece of glove underneath the car. Alright, so basically we push that up. Fuck you, bastard. Okay, I gotta use 2 hands. Can you see it? Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, so you put the horseshoe thing in, at least one is started then. And then pretty much this gets dropped in from the bottom. Don't know if you can see that. I don't think you can. Still don't think you can. Alright, so I just dropped it in. Yeah, that ain't brain surgery. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So those will get tightened up as this thing eventually gets in the fucking hole. It's just a little weird there. But time's a ticking. And I think I just want to get it done. So basically I held that guy like that. And lower this jack now because it's pretty much gonna be in my way, but I think I could still get the tire on. Ugh. Anyway. I love the little automated ratchets. I had another Ryobi one that was short. I decided to get the long one because I still have the other one, but it kind of strips in reverse, so like, you know, it lasted like 3 years. Actually, I think I had 2 years. This guy here is stronger, but it won't push itself beyond its limit. It's crazy how much power it has, but then again, it's not like the other one that was more like violent, you know. It was like really, you know, and that's why I think it kind of stripped. Okay. It's very possible. I gotta jack up the car to get this to finish off in it. That's crazy. Alright. Okay. Alright, I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing. There's a wide part right there of the hole and the bushing, and that's it. And then you put the nut on the top, this rubber bushing and stuff. Ugh. All right, this is too. I'm gonna make one more quick video of it sitting on the ground. You'll see it with the new springs. All right, I'll put all this back together and one more quick video. So that's the way it looks. I put those struts in there very high in the front, but this is the body line. You can see it goes down over the wheel more, but this is definitely going to be the right height now that it needs to be. It's actually up a little in the rear, but you know, I just literally lowered it down. If I take it for a ride, it'll even out, I'm sure. You know, and hopefully the shocks aren't junk. Feels pretty good to me. You can hear them go, you know. But yeah, I needed to do that because, you know, if I put more junk in here, it was going down a little too much. Like it doesn't look crazy taller than it was, you know. But I can almost see the whole tire now, you know. So I think that's what I wanted, you know. Just about the whole, you can just about see the whole tire. Just the top of the tread is just not there. It was definitely lower before, and The main thing was the what do you call it? The weight would make it go down, and I just don't like that. I don't like that look. You know, particularly I'm using it in a movie, and it's supposed to be 1992 or 93, and you know, I have some boxes here which they don't care, but if you have too much weight, it's just gonna look like it's sagging, you know. So nobody would have a brand new car and then you know, living in it already. All right, that's the rear springs. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I got a bunch of codes on the car. It had something to do with the ignition, and it had something to do with the EGR. The EGR I suspected, but I'm like, the check engine light was coming on too quick, and I was ready to blame the O2 sensors, but it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with that. It had everything to do with the distributor. So the Chinese distributor came with a gray module, and I found out it has to have a black one. Sure enough, my old distributor had a black one, so I put this one on. It actually runs better. It was like, the exhaust was really loud. So I'm not going to bother checking the codes right now, but then I'm going, I see a little bit of wetness, and I just cleaned it off with brake cleaner, and I went through the trouble of cleaning this off, and it looks like it's cracked. So I have to get the other one, drill it out a little bit, and then swap it. And I suspected, you know, these things crack, so that's why I even bought it. But even that was made crappy. But you can tell it was just seeping enough. You know, I think what's bubbling now at the gasket is the, what do you call it? The brake cleaner I sprayed. I don't know if it's really evaporating there, but it looks like it's coming from that edge there, and it was coming for a long time prior to this. I never saw any leak, but now that I cleaned it, you know, and it's just that darkness right there on that line. So, oh boy, always fun to do things more than once. So that's what I got to do. I'll see when I have the time. I'm supposed to have a friend help me clean out my garage tomorrow, you know, clean something. So I was hoping to have this car running, and you know, the spring's done, and now I only have to do the gas filter and the exhaust, you know, muffler. But kind of a bummer. It ran good, but it's like, and then I had bought an extra one of these, and it was ultra power, and it's a gray one in the box. So I have two gray ones that I don't need. I just keep batting 1,000. Oh, and then on top of that, see, I tried to take out the whole distributor again. So they didn't do the 5.5 millimeter screw. It's a regular screw. And the one I was able to get on this side, the other one, I didn't have enough torque because I could barely grab it. You know, besides everything being hot, you just don't have the torque. Like maybe if I had a screwdriver that had a hex head on it, but still, that sucks. I put the original screws back in it so you can at least use the tool. So, oh well, live and learn. I gotta put this rubber guy back on, and I'm calling it quits. It's dark. Woohoo! We're getting dark. All right, that's today's episode.